Alrighty then, it is September, and I am making a video for Crocktober. That's right, Crocktober. But you cannot use the word crock pot if you do not have an authentic crock pot. If you don't have an authentic crock pot, you must say slow cooker. So this could not be easier. Let's do it. I have got a heck of a rainy day here at the Marshmouse. So I'm doing stuff and things. So the first thing I did was turn my crock pot, authentic crock pot. Don't even try it, crock pot people. Okay, don't come for me. And I'm gonna put a pint of my own beef stock in it. This happens to be from 2019 because some things get shoved into the back of the pantry. Just is what it is. But it's all good. That seal's good. I'm gonna lay that right in here. I'm now going to season. Now, unfortunately, this is a chuck roast, which means I'll have to cook it on low. I wanted a rump, but we haven't had rumps in a long time. So if I were to cook this on high and try and get it done soon, it'd be very tough. So I'm gonna put it on low. So I'm gonna season it, but I do not brown it in a skillet first. I used to, and I gave up on that. So let me season it, then we're gonna put it in the bottom of our crock pot. We got onion, carrots, and I've got a potato, some potatoes chopped up too probably, into it, you know, like an hour before we wanna eat it. And then I can make a wonderful gravy from the drippings because I've used my own beef stock, and this stuff was wicked good. And guess what happens if I need more beef stock? I got more beef stock because I come from a place of more. Stock a pantry. So let me season this and we'll get back. I'll get back. I'll always be here. You go do something else. And the reason I do my videos so early and get into a scheduler when I do a collab is because I'm on the coast of South Carolina. I cannot always have an internet connection. We have DSL out here. I ain't fixing to get Starlink, okay? I just went through 6 days of no internet connection, could not even use the hotspot on my phone. Very irritating, but it is what it is. I can either move into the big city where we came from in the upstate and have me some fast charter internet, fast service, or I can have crabs and fish in the tidal creek in my backyard on my little baby dock. So I'm choosing to rock it here, but I always have to do things early. Or I will let down collaborators who I committed to doing something, and I don't like to do that. Okay, so I seasoned my little chuck. I've got super clean hands. We're going to get it. It's just like 2.6 pounds. Ha! Fits perfect. Okay, so we are gonna put our carrots, our onion, and it'll let a lot of liquid out. And if it doesn't, again, I got mo. Thank goodness that didn't fall on the float. I have more beef stock. It's one of the great things about being a home canner is you're not, oh gosh, I don't have any more name brand little envelope or package of stock, because I'm a canner. That's what we do. Got me through the rough 2020 when nothing was in that stove. So I'm gonna nestle them around here. I'm gonna put that lid on. Now I'm gonna turn it to low. I have it on high so I could get that stock. And I'll decide if I need to add some more beef stock, but I don't usually like to submerge it. Sometimes it submerges itself, letting everything out. Let me wash my hands. So I have turned it down to low. We're gonna put our lid on and we're gonna let it cook along while I do stuff and things. One of my stuff and things is to take one of my 5-pound bags of taters and I'm going to put them in my dehydrator. So I got a lot of work to do there, but it will be worth it. So about an hour before this is ready, I will put some potato pieces in there, little potato chunks. And as always, I peeled my onion and I put it in this bag that I always have going in my freezer for stock. So when I make more beef stock or turkey stock or chicken stock, I've got all these discards on hand. Some I have to put into our compost to keep it rich and going, but others I put into stock bags. Easy peasy to be a canner. So I've got my Crocktober roasting away in my authentic crock pot. So don't come for me, crock pot. You've done it before and it was real crock pot and I had to prove it. But anywho, I got that going. We are 3 hours in, so I am going to turn my roast over in my crocky potty. Everybody's submerged and I have not put my taters in yet. And remember, it's cooking away on low. Ain't hard. This is something I used to love to do when I worked full-time back in the big cities. And you didn't know what time you were getting home. Put you a crock pot on. Oh, I'm looking forward to some roast beef sandwiches at work this week. All right, our roast is ready. Vern's gonna take out the roast for me. I'm gonna take out the vegetables, and then we're gonna empty the drippings or the broth and the wine into our skillet to make a gravy. It's easy peasy, it ain't hard. All right, Vern got our roast out, and we've got our vegetables in a bowl. I'm gonna cover that with aluminum foil, and Vern's gonna dump the drippings or the liquid from the crock pot, authentic crock pot, don't ding me, okay, into our skillet. So hang on one moment. All right, Vern's coming with the crocker, and it is burling hot. So that is our own broth. I'll fish out the vegetables that were left and the half a cup of wine we put in there. And now I'm gonna get that boiling and start the gravy. Oh, it smells so good. So I have got my gravy up on between medium and high. I want it to boil, reduce down a little bit, and then I will have a groovy gravy. Oh yeah. So my gravy is boiling down. You can see where it was at the edge of the pan. And I do have videos on how I make gravy, and it's how I make gravy. I just do my own thing, just a mouse who cooks. Been feeding a man for 43 years, okay, and doing my own thing. Ain't no chef, I don't pretend to be a chef, I'm just a good country cook. So, the only thing I've added, and you do want to taste it, I added a little bit of kosher salt. I do not add salt to foods or meats, those kind of things. If you want salty food, you salt it at the table in my house. Ain't nobody need no high blood pressure up in here, okay? And we're old, so we try to lessen our things. So it's gonna be good when I thicken it up with some cornstarch or flour, whatever I choose to do. Okay, so this is Crocktober, a chuck roast. Wish it was a rump, but it ain't. Some vegetables in that authentic crock pot, and I've mixed up some mashed taters and gonna put our gravy on that. Oh yeah. We have reduced down a lot, so I'm gonna add my thickener to my gravy, and then I'm gonna make me a plate and get my grub on. Oh yeah. And the key for anybody making gravy is you want to reduce that gravy down, let it get like it is now. Okay, and when you add, look at that, wicked. And when you add your thickener, you want it at this full rolling boil. A lot of people struggle and they end up with flour chunks if they thicken with flour, which is perfectly fine, but it's because it is not at a full rolling boil. So get that boil a-rolling, then add your thickener and stir, stir, stir with your whisk, and all will be good in your gravy hood. Got a little rogue piece of carrot, oh yeah. If you used commercially canned whatever of broth and you don't get this rich brown color, you can absolutely add some kitchen bouquet. It's browning and seasoning sauce. I don't think it has a flavor. I have seldom needed to use it, but if you need to and you have a pale, sort of looking like chicken gravy, you can use Kitchen Bouquet. It's in your spice aisle, but I don't see any flavor to it. But I don't taste the flavor of paprika either, unless it's that real good stuff I got in Morocco. Now that stuff was all that. So get it to the thickness that you want. I get my big old paw out of your way. So I'd like this to get a little thicker, so I'm gonna let it boil away a little bit more. It ain't hard. There's nothing in this you can burn, unless you walked away from it an hour and it all boiled away. But just to give you an idea, see, I want it to kind of cut a line through it when it's thick enough for me. Just experiment with it. It's just gravy. Here's the line I'm talking about. As I stir it, can you see it? So now it's getting to the thickness I want. Just add your thickener, whether it's cornstarch or flour, very slowly. So if you over add it, then you need to thin it out with some of your home beef broth in a jar. You know, we call it canning. And you're just gonna dilute the flavors of what you got from the drippings in that authentic crock pot. And if you wonder why I say authentic crock pot, is one of the first YouTube dings I got was using the words crock pot. And I failed to show the words crock pot on it. But I was able to get it removed because I had a clip that I did not use in the video that showed it was indeed a crock pot. So I saved my own self. All right, so that is the thickness that I want. And Vern says my gravy is an entity. Ain't hard. Just add your thickener slow. It's like anything, when you're seasoning something, do it lightly. You can always add more, but you can't take away. So I'm gonna turn this off and make myself a plate. Because this old lady is hungry. Hungry. So here is my yummy plate, and I mix my mashed taters in this. And Ginger from Not For Nothing Homestead made me the grooviest with a seafood print on it. Sea creatures. Maybe they're not creatures, they're shells. A compass, but anyway, it's sea-like, some coral. And it's to hold like a hot soup bowl in. I absolutely love it. And I put this in there, and then it protects my countertop. Love it. Okay, gonna get my eat on. Welcome to Crocktober. There's a video every day for at least 30 days, I believe. And I'll put the channels that are sponsoring it in the description box. And thanks for watching. Take care, and everybody stay safe. And pinch those pennies. This economy is terrifying.